Russia's influence operations and NATO's response. In recent years, Russian influence operations have been a matter of great concern for many countries, including members of NATO. These operations can be defined as coordinated efforts to shape the political landscape of target countries. They aim to manipulate public opinion and decision-making to favor Russian interests. In this article, we will look at some of the tactics used by Russia in these operations and the response of NATO member countries to counter them. One of the key tactics used by Russia in influence operations is the spread of disinformation and propaganda. This is achieved through various means, including state-sponsored media outlets, social media networks, and fake news websites. These outlets disseminate false information, often in support of Russian interests, and create confusion and division among the target population. Another tactic employed by Russia is the use of cyberattacks to target critical infrastructure and political organizations in target countries. These attacks are aimed at disrupting normal operations, stealing sensitive data, and interfering with the political process. We have seen numerous examples of these cyberattacks, including the 2016 U.S. presidential election interference and the NotPetya attack on Ukraine in 2017. In addition to these tactics, there has also been an increase in the use of hybrid warfare by Russia in recent years. This involves the use of unconventional military tactics, such as the deployment of green men in Crimea, to achieve strategic objectives without going to war outright. By doing so, Russia can create instability in target countries and undermine their ability to respond to Russian aggression. So, how has NATO responded to these threats? First, NATO has been working to improve its cybersecurity defenses to counter the threat of Russian cyberattacks. In 2016, NATO established a Cyber Operations Center to coordinate cyber defense efforts among member countries. This center provides real-time information on cyber threats and helps member countries to share best practices in cybersecurity. Second, NATO has also been working to increase resilience against disinformation campaigns. Member countries have been encouraged to develop their own counter-propaganda campaigns and to promote media literacy among their populations. NATO has also established a Strategic Communications Center of Excellence that provides training and guidance on how to counter Russian disinformation campaigns. Finally, NATO has also been increasing its military presence in Eastern Europe in response to Russian aggression. In 2014, NATO established a new Rapid Reaction Force, which can be deployed quickly to respond to threats in the region. Additionally, NATO has also been conducting military exercises in the Baltic states to demonstrate its readiness and commitment to defend its members. While these responses are commendable, there are still challenges that NATO faces in countering Russian influence operations. One of the key challenges is the lack of a unified approach among member countries. Each country may have its own perspective on Russian influence operations, and this can make it difficult to coordinate a common response. Another challenge is the sheer scale of the Russian influence operations. These operations are highly coordinated and well-funded, and they can be difficult to detect and counter. Despite NATO's efforts, there remains a risk of further interference in upcoming elections in Europe and beyond. In conclusion, Russian influence operations remain a significant threat to the stability and security of NATO member countries. These operations seek to undermine democratic institutions and sow division among populations. While NATO has taken steps to counter these threats, more needs to be done to coordinate a unified response among member countries and to increase resilience against Russian aggression. Only then can we successfully protect our democracies against these malign operations.